Hi, my name is Anna. I've always been someone who enjoys meeting new people, but I wasn't always confident speaking English. There were times when I wanted to start a conversation, but felt too nervous to find the right words. Today, I'm excited to share a story that might help you if you've ever felt the same way. This story is about meeting a new neighbor and learning how to introduce yourself in a friendly, simple way. Along the way, you'll pick up useful phrases and practice speaking English. Here's a tip before we start: don't be afraid to make mistakes. The more you practice, the more natural it will feel. Oh, and one more thing, don't forget to turn on the subtitles. You can repeat the phrases I use to improve your pronunciation and confidence. Are you ready? Let's dive into the story of how I met my new neighbor. It was a quiet afternoon in my neighborhood. The sun was shining, and a gentle breeze made the trees sway softly. You could hear the laughter of children playing in the street and the occasional bark of a dog. It was the kind of day that felt peaceful and ordinary until something new caught my attention. A moving van had parked right next door. Boxes were being unloaded, and a couple of people were walking in and out of the house. That's when I realized I was getting new neighbors. I stood by my window for a moment, watching the activity. They seemed busy, but nice. Then I thought I should go and introduce myself. It's the polite thing to do. But as soon as I had that thought, another one followed. What should I say? What if my English isn't good enough? Even though I had been learning and practicing, I still felt a little nervous about starting a conversation. Then, I remembered something important: people appreciate kindness, not perfection. So, I decided to take the first step. I quickly baked a simple cake to bring over. A small gesture like that could make the introduction feel more friendly and welcoming. Holding the cake, I took a deep breath and walked out of my house. The sound of my footsteps on the driveway seemed louder than usual, but I kept going. This was my chance to practice my English and make a good impression. As I walked up to the front door of my new neighbor's house, my heart started to race a little. What if they don't understand me? I thought. What if I forget what to say? But I reminded myself, this wasn't about being perfect, it was about being friendly and making a connection. The house looked lively, with boxes stacked in the living room and someone unpacking a lamp near the window. I could hear faint voices inside, which made me feel both excited and a little more nervous. Finally, I reached the door and knocked gently. After a few moments, the door opened and a man with a friendly smile appeared. "Hi," I said, trying to sound cheerful but not too loud. "My name is Anna. I live next door. Welcome to the neighborhood." His face lit up. "Oh, thank you. I'm John," he said, extending his hand for a handshake. "It's nice to meet you." "Nice to meet you too," I replied, shaking his hand. I held out the cake. "I brought this for you. I hope you like chocolate." John chuckled and took the cake. "Wow, that's so thoughtful of you." "Thank you. My family loves chocolate." "No problem at all," I said, feeling a little more relaxed. "If you need anything, just let me know." "Moving can be stressful," John nodded. It really can. We're still unpacking, but it's nice to know we have friendly neighbors. We chatted for a few more moments, and I learned that John had moved here with his wife and 2 kids. They had come from another state for his new job, and they were still getting used to the area. The conversation was simple, but I felt proud of myself for starting it. Every time I said something and he responded, it felt like a little victory. As I walked back to my house, I thought about how the conversation with John had gone so smoothly. It felt good to have taken that first step, and I was curious about his family and their story. The next day, while I was watering my plants, I noticed John outside, organizing some boxes in the driveway. I decided to walk over and say hello again. "Hi, John," I said with a wave. "How's the unpacking going?" He looked up and smiled. "Hi, Anna. It's going." Slowly, he laughed, brushing some dust off his hands. We didn't realize how much stuff we had until we started packing. "I know the feeling," I said, nodding. "It's amazing how things pile up over the years." He chuckled and said, "Exactly. By the way, thank you again for the cake. My kids loved it. They finished it in one night. I'm so glad they liked it." I replied, "How old are your kids?" "They're 8 and 10, he said. "They're really excited to explore the neighborhood." "That's great. There's a park nearby where a lot of kids play. I can show you where it is if you'd like," I offered. "That would be wonderful," John said. "We'd appreciate any tips about the area." "No problem at all. If you need anything, recommendations, tools, or even more chocolate cake, just let me know," I said with a smile. John laughed. "You're too kind, Anna. Thanks for making us feel so welcome." We talked a little more about the neighborhood and local shops. It was a simple, friendly exchange, but it made me feel more connected to my new neighbors. Later that evening, as I sat by the window with a cup of tea, I thought about how the day had unfolded. Meeting John and having those small conversations had been a reminder of something important. Building connections doesn't have to be complicated. I realized how much my confidence in speaking English had grown since I started practicing more. Sure, I still made mistakes sometimes, but moments like these showed me that most people appreciate the effort. John didn't seem to care if my sentences were perfect. He cared about the kindness behind my words. Thinking back to the phrases I used, I felt proud. Saying simple things like "Hi, my name is," and "If you need anything, just let me know," had helped me break the ice. These weren't just words, they were tools for creating understanding and trust. As I watched the lights in my neighbor's house flicker on, I smiled. Reaching out had been a small gesture, but it had created a connection that felt meaningful. Now it's your turn to practice. Let's go over some of the key phrases from today's story. First, try introducing yourself. Repeat after me. "Hi, my name is," your name. "I live next door." "Nice to meet you." Next, practice offering help. "If you need anything, just let me know. I can show you where the park local place is." How would you respond if someone introduced themselves? Write your answer in the comments. Remember, small steps like this can build your confidence over time. You're doing great. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe for more practical English lessons. See you next time.